Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have not only a bag reveal, but a sort of like a guide or like some steps to consider if you are looking for a Chanel bag that is a little bit more on the affordable side. Now, quick thing I have to mention, I'm a lot on my plate today and I am doing laundry, so if you can hear the dryer in the background, I apologize, but I only have so many hours in the day. And my second thing is that I do find that it is somewhat unfortunate timing that my bag reveal video comes up directly after I'm in purse piece. I don't feel like I need anything, and timing on this, not ideal, but sometimes, like I said, that you just see something and you love it. Now, the bags that I'm going to be featuring today in this video are going to be under $3,000. Also, too, this video idea is based on something I have done recently, and that was my live shop with me. So I'm going to leave that video link down below. If you like that format where I'm shopping with you guys live on the websites, please comment that down below. Or if you just like this one where I'm just featuring them as I see them and you get to watch them afterwards. The live streams are super fun, so the next time I do one, I will announce that. So I think we're gonna start with the bag reveal. Okay, so I just want to show you guys the third Chanel bag I've ever purchased in my life. Came with this dust bag. So this came from REBAG. This is actually my very first purchase from them, and everything went amazing. If you haven't been on REBAG's website, they have a lot of great stuff, and they also will have a lot of like flash deals and coupon codes and really cool stuff like that. So I definitely recommend that as an area to shop. I will leave the one that I got linked down below, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully this video goes up in time, they had another one of my bags. So if you like this, then now is the time to jump on it because it is so incredibly cool. So it came with its original dust bag. You guys are either going to love this or laugh at me. So this is the bag. This is a Chanel pink holographic bag. So we have the CC logo here, and then it says Chanel Paris when you like move it to the side. This is a vintage bag. It's from around like 2001, I would say. I just think this is so incredibly cool, and for someone like me, like I like cool off-kilter stuff. This just screams that. It was inexpensive and it's just something different and cool. So a couple of thoughts about this bag. First of all, I'm obsessed with it. It is made of holographic vinyl. If you guys remember this material from the late 90s and early 2000s, but it's that like textured, like zippy material. So it has the two designs on either side. The lettering here is yellow. It has the same in the back. The sides are also made of the material. It's more on the narrow side. It's kind of just like a square little box, and it has these two shoulder straps that are silver chains. I do still have the REBAG tags on, just in case. I don't cut tags on camera because if I do change my mind, then I want to be able to return it. The bag looks like on the inside. Very simple, no fuss, no frills. It doesn't have a closure of any sort, and it has this little small zip pocket here. This one was cool because it did come with the authenticity card. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb as a bag. To be honest, in my collection, this is not a bag that makes sense. Like in my purse piece video, I talked about like having a cohesive like color palette and like knowing you'll be able to use something on the regular, and I kind of threw most of that to the wind in making this purchase, if I'm very honest. But I do think that there is room for that. If you find something that just really makes you smile on the inside, like that, and it's within your, you know, budget capacity and all of that stuff, you can decide to let go a little bit. You don't have to be so rigid in your purchases that you lose the fun aspect of fashion and shopping and collecting things that you love. So not everything has to be measured and calculated, but don't get carried away. This was from the early 2000s, and it also came in purple, which was super cool. But I don't know. I'm having a moment with colors at the moment at this time. Ultimately, I think this is just a really cool collector's piece, and even if I don't end up using it, I just do think that I'm just gonna enjoy having this. All right, so now we're gonna talk about some really cool and more affordable Chanel bags that are out there on the resale market. So when it comes to affordable Chanel bags, there's a couple of things you want to take into account. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about supply supply and demand. If there is a small supply of something that is highly sought after, then you're very likely to pay an astronomical price for it on the resale market. So the way to circumvent that is to find cool stuff that's out there, not exactly, you know, as rare and in somewhat abundance, and that isn't as highly sought after. This is something that we talk about a lot here. There's just a whole bunch of cool stuff out there, and it doesn't all have to be a classic flap, a boy, and the 19. Like, we can go beyond those three bags and see what else is out there. What I like to look for with affordability in Chanel is, number one, to go vintage. With vintage, you definitely want to be aware that you're buying something that is a little bit older and requires and maybe received a little more love over the course of its years. If pristine and perfect is the thing for you, then vintage may not be the way to go, but I see it all the time that there are so many people out there who bought something in, like, you know, 1993 or whatever and never used it, and it's sat untouched in a box and it's completely pristine. So that can go in many directions, but the vintage definitely is on the less expensive side than a lot of the newer stuff. The other thing too with vintage, that the quality was just better. The lambskin was like really thick and buttery. I think that sometimes it may thin over time, but you feel it and it just feels really soft. The hardware was gold plated in Chanel up until, I want to say, like 2007 or so. I think that it does a disservice to the pre-loved market for people to like completely ignore vintage as an option, because there's so much great stuff out there, and you know how fashion trends come back. Like, you might as well get the original thing. You know, it doesn't hurt to save a little bit of money in the process. Specifically with vintage and affordability, a lot of the stuff from the early 2000s has not really risen up in price the way we've seen a lot of the classics. Now, for example, like what we can compare is like the backpacks of the early to mid 90s, how those have shot up in price as compared to like a lot of the stuff from the early 2000s. And what I find super funny about this is that a lot of the fashion trends that are in right now are like very like 90s and Y2K. So I just find it really strange that over the course of that, while this is happening, the prices of the Chanel bags from that exact era haven't shot up. Another thing I like to look for is off the beaten path materials. This is like a textured vinyl material. I also have this one I brought out because, spoiler, I actually found this on REBAG. Chanel have done coated canvas over the years. They've done jersey. They've done like all kinds of different types of material. What you will find is that when you branch outside of the lambskin and the caviar, that you can find a lot of different and unique materials that they make the bags out of. Once again, we're looking for things that are off the beaten path. We're looking for things that are just not the same old everything else, because that's where you find a lot of the deals. Now, the next thing that you definitely want to consider when you want an affordable or more affordable style in Chanel bag is the seasonal bags. You know, for the past couple, I would say the last 20 years or so, the collections have had something that is like a part of the collection, except they incorporate that style and design into their classic flap. So there's a lot of variations on the classic flap that just make it like something that just make the bag a little bit different, but still evoke the classic flap, you know, essence and aura. I hate using words like that, sorry. So you're getting the idea of the classic flap while it's a little bit unique, a little bit singular to that year in that collection, and a lot of the time the prices are way lower. This is definitely something that you want to check out. A lot of the time they will be single flaps as well, so they'll be a bit more roomy. The medium classic flap today is $7,800. To buy them on the resale market, I mean, I would say they're going anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 in decent condition, not necessarily good condition. And, you know, if you can find something at like, you know, $3,400, sometimes even $29,000, you know, $27,000 and unique is better than $7,000 and the same thing that everyone else has. Specific bags I can think of on this are the Shiva flap, Shiva or Shiva, I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. And then there's the Perfect Edge that I have talked about at length on the here. I love that bag, and I just really don't feel like I have a place for it in my wardrobe, but it's definitely a good buy. It's definitely something like cool, and it kind of mixes like elements that today turned into the Chanel 19 as well as the classic flap. That's just two I can think of off the top of my head, but there are so many out there, and if I find some, I will leave them linked down below. Okay, so here's another thing to consider. Right now, it seems that with Chanel bags, these shopper style bags are not as highly sought after and highly in demand as a lot of the more like shoulder flaps and crossbodies, etc. I am a tote girl. If you give me a good top handle with the double shoulder with the shoulder strap, I am all in. I'm all in for it. I love it. I own that shape and style of bag probably about 4 times over in my collection. They're not going anywhere for me, so just knowing that that's something that I like, and it also just so happens that not a whole lot of people are liking that in this moment, works out for me very well. There's a lot of like shopper totes out there that you can find great deals on. You can incorporate those into your everyday life a little bit better, so that makes justifying, and it makes it a little bit easier in my eyes to justify the price point, because it's, no matter what, it's still a Chanel bag. It's still not going to be cheap. To be able to actually use it in your day-to-day life, if you use shoppers regularly, you know, it makes it that much sweeter. And the safe place if you want to spend less than $3,000 on a Chanel bag are typically the wallet on chain. So the wallet on chain at this time retails for $29.95. So unfortunately, like, we're not getting deals necessarily by shopping on the pre-loved market because they are so highly sought after. But to buy them retail at $29.95, if you can get a hold of one new retail from in the store. Not easy these days. It is a good bag. It's one that is highly sought after, very classic, and very easy to wear. I did own one in my collection. It turned out to not be the bag for me. It's not one that I love, but I definitely do see the thought process behind it. Wallet on chains on the pre-loved market, I've seen them going anywhere from like 25 to like 34. Also, too, quick shout out, quick plug to one bag that I don't see a lot of people talking about, and that's called the clutch with chain. It's sort of like an open style bag. A lot of them do have card slots, and then there's 2 zipper compartments on either side of it with an open like cavity in the middle, but it's definitely more on the affordable side. I'm not sure what these are currently retailing for, but I have seen them online for in like $2,200 in different materials from different collections, and it's definitely a good buy if you're looking for something crossbody and evening. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a couple of bags that I have my eye on at the moment. These are Chanel. They're mainly vintage. They're just ones that just did not like super inflate in price over the years. Let's get into some because I think this is going to be fun. So first up, we have just the entire Chanel Cambon collection, but they did do other collections, other bags within this entire collection, and a lot of them are a lot more understated. You can see there's some black on black, there's some black on white. I've seen it also in navy. They made wallet on chains. They did all kinds of stuff, but this one collection, for whatever reason, is not particularly expensive on the resale market. Okay, so there have been a couple of variations on the canvas shopper tote a la the Deauville. You guys know I love a good look for less style, and I found a couple. Like, for example, there's this really beautiful red one that I just find so stunning. I've seen this in like black as well as navy, and it has all of the nuts and bolts, I think, as the Deauville, but it doesn't quite have that high price point, and it's something a little bit different. We were talking about wallet on chains, and one of my very favorites to mention is the Timeless Walk. So the Timeless is just stamped. It's typically caviar, and it has the CC sewn into the front. There's no metal clasp or anything like that, but it's super understated and super timeless, for lack of a better word. They made these for many seasons, and they're just super classic, and for whatever reason, not particularly expensive on the resale market. Here's a direct example of a seasonal style bag that takes on the elements of the classic flap. This is the French Riviera bag from Chanel. It's a flap bag with all the fixins, but it's just a little bit different. I think it's maybe a little bit more casual. They made these in a variety of colors, definitely in caviar, and it sort of has like a more casual vibe to it overall. Guess what? It won't have that hefty $6,000 price tag. These are probably going more in the range of anywhere from $25 to $35 depending on color, condition. So next two are great look for less for the Bottega pouch. I think these are a little bit better because they're Chanel. First up is one I've spoken about briefly before. It's called the Half Moon Wallet on Chain. It literally looks like a little pouch with a flap. These are another one. For whatever reason, you can find them for, at least the last time I looked, it was well under $2,000. And they're a little bit on the puffier side. They come in a variety of sizes, usually in caviar. They have done a lot of different colors, but it also comes with the strap. That's really, really key because I don't know about you guys, but I won't commit to an expensive clutch. I will carry a clutch for a time and then I sort of get sick of it, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I like the option to tuck it away, but I need to know that it's going to be there when I'm sick of carrying my bag in my hand. Here's another great example of a bag super similar to this. This one tends to be maybe a little bit more expensive, but these are fan favorites. This is the Chanel Chain Around in the small size. They may have also done wallets on chain, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's called the Chain Around bag. It's on the puffier side. It has quilting and pleating and everything like that, just like the Timeless, except that it has the chain detail going around the perimeter of the bag. It's another really cute detail that screams Chanel. But also too does look a little bit more modern and of the moment. So you can find these for what did I think I found some for like $2,200, which were our great deals in today's Chanel climate, and I'll have them linked down below. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. If you want to tune in to one of my live streams, I will be announcing the next one very shortly. If you have like a topic or anything like that you want to do a shop with me theme on, then please comment that down below. Otherwise, every bag that I talked about will be linked down below in the description box, and you can find as well this one. I found a couple more on the internet and I love this. To be honest, this is going to be super hard for me to dress within my wardrobe, but I am up for the challenge. Any suggestions, please comment them down below because I'm going to need some help on that. But other than that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!